Yes, this obviously, we say it was a big issue in 2016, still very much a prominent one now, but where you are perhaps more fresh on voters' minds being a border state. What are you hearing down there?
So, every week I've been out in a different swing state talking to voters. I'm about 50 miles from the border, but on Saturday I was right on the border in a place called Sassabee, Arizona, about just due southwest of where we are right now. And I spoke to 6 voters, a really diverse crowd. One was a woman who had come to America as an undocumented immigrant. 2 were members of an indigenous nation nearby. 2 were ranchers. It was just a great conversation. But, you can't believe people sharing the same amount of land can have such different views. I wasn't planning for most of the conversation to be about immigration, but in the end it was. Listen to some of what they told me.
First of all, I would say that I feel very proud to be a naturalized citizen. I worked hard for my naturalization and my family worked hard for the naturalization. I would even say that the drive here was a very triggering experience because even though I'm not naturalized citizen now, the fear of border patrol, of family separation, never leaves your body. Just out here, I saw, on the way over here, I saw a family be detained. A man was carrying a child.
Just here as you were coming to this discussion?
As I was coming into this discussion. So I feel very vulnerable because no matter how many years have passed, the fear of witnessing that is still in your body. This wall, this wall is a representation of hate. This wall is a representation of everything that divides us. I don't think about the immigration issue. I feel the immigration issue.
So, Jim, when you're talking about the things that you struggle with legitimately on your property, with a cattle fence that people can go underneath, and drugs and drug dealers, I imagine you're not thinking of Grecia. That's not where your fear lies.
That is true. We, as a nation, need immigrants, and I love immigrants. The problem is we're a nation of the rule of law, and it's against our laws for people just to decide to come into the United States. We've had people coming from Mexico, from Guatemala, Honduras, come to our front yard. I have water for them. I have, my truck always has 10 gallons of water. We meet them, but this is very rare. In 2008, that traffic stopped, and the drug cartels took over the 200 trails coming through my ranch. And what's coming through now aren't just good people trying to get into the United States. It's drug packers. Drug packers coming into the United States to poison our people. We very seldom ever see a woman or a child. In fact, I haven't seen one in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's a broken immigration system because it takes years for you to actually do it through the legal process. It took me 13 years to become a naturalized citizen. It took me 6 years to fight my father's deportation, even though he had no previous criminal record. Our immigration system is broken because the system wasn't meant to be welcoming. The system was meant to be deterrent. However, we still benefit from a system that allows for free trade of goods and services, but doesn't allow for the free movement of people back and forth.
And Steve, just so you know, the wall where we were right in front of it, but a few hundred yards in one direction was the end of the wall, and more is being reconstructed. Some of it is replacing that cattle fencing that rancher was talking about that you could go underneath or on top of. Some of it is replacing 13-foot fence that was there. So while a lot of people say that very little new wall has been constructed by Donald Trump, what they're missing is that a lot of existing wall has been replaced. There were little traffic barriers that have now become 30-foot walls. So there's a lot of wall on the southern border of the United States. And as you mentioned at the top of that, that is now under review by the Supreme Court because the money was redirected from the Department of Defense for that purpose. Immigration as a topic alive and well in this discussion in this election in Arizona. Steve.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.